again. In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly sun, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with MacBeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon. Fair is foul and foul is fair.
Hover through the fog and yield the air.
Bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt, the newest state.
This is the sergeant, who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst lead it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a traitor, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the Western Isles of kerns and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling showed like a merc herself. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution. Like valor's minion carved his path till he faced the knave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
As whence the sun gets his reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break, so too from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lords surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows eagles, or the hare the lion, if I say truth, they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled their strokes upon the foe. Whether they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. But I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds, they smack of honor, both. Go, fetch him, surgeons. Who comes here? The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a hateful surprise. So did you see things strange?
God save your majesty.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners fan the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellama's bridegroom, lacked in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, and point against point, arm against arm rebellious, curbing his lavish spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness!
That Swino, Norway's king, craves composition, nor would we deign him burial of his men till he disbursed at St. Comsage $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interests. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
doing, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where's out? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. Aroint thee, witch, the rough-fed Runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger, but in a sieve all thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a win.
Thou art kind.
And I know that.
I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know in the shipman's card. I will drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary se'nights 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak, and pine. And though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have.
Show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
Adrienne, MacBeth,
Though he is sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
how far'st called to glories?
Where are these? So withered and so wild in their appearance that seem not of this world, but are aught. Live you? Are you aught that man can question? You seem to understand me by each at once, a chapping finger placing to her skinny lips. You should be women, but your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, MacBeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Blondes!
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Queen of Cawdor.
All hail, MacBeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter. Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that which outwardly you show? My noble partner you do greet with present grace and great prediction, with noble having and with royal worth that he seems rapt withal. To me, you say nothing. If you can look into the seeds of time and see which grains can grow and which cannot, speak to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate. Hail!
Hail.
Hail! Lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy yet. Much happier.
Thou shalt great king, thou shalt be known. So, all hail, Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Say, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. I've seen as death, I know I'm Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman. To be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, and why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic breeding. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles like the water has, and these are of them? Whither did they vanish?
Into the air. And what seemed corporal melted his breath into the wind. Would they had stayed?
Are there such things as we do speak on? Or have we eaten of the insane root that holds the reason hostage?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, which it not so.
To the self-same tune and words. Who's there?
The king happily hath heard, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in this day's journey, his wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine or his. Silence with that, and o'erlooking the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing afeard of what thou didst make. Strange images of death! As thick as hail came post with post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured him down before him.
We're sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into a sight, not pay thee.
In earnest of a greater measure, he bid me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
Can the devil speak truth?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
He who was Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserved to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Blondes and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thank you for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That thrusted forth will soon enkindle you into the crown as well as Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harms, the instruments of evil tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word with both of you.
Two truths are told as happy prologue to a swelling act of the imperial theme. Supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. Good. Why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth affix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise. Nothing is but what is not.
See how our cousins are act.
Chance will have me king, by chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him like our strange garments cleave not to their form, but with aid of use.
Come what may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy MacBeth. We stay, but at your leisure.
Give me a favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Very gladly.
Till then enough. Come, friends!
Is execution done on Cawdor yet? Are not those in commission yet returned?
Liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoken with one who saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one who had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owed as twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin! The sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have this to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness' part is to receive our duties. Our duties are to your throne and state, but children and servants, which do but what they should by doing everything safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labour to make thee full of growing. Worthy Banquo, thou hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me embrace thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know we shall establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Which honour must, not unaccompanied, invest him only, but signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, to bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my life with your approach. So humbly, take my leave.
Worthy Cawdor.
Prince of Cumberland, that is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap toward my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my deep and black desires. The eye wink the hand, but let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned a desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail, King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'st have great blocks. That which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it. And that which rather thou dost fear to do, than wishest should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal.
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, were it so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath had scarcely enough that would make up this message.
Give him tending. He
brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and palm me in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife sees not the wound it make, nor heaven peep through the blanket of dark to cry, hold! Hold! Great Gloms, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book, where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall do all our nights and days to come, give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air, nimbly and sweetly, recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, doth with his loved masonry approve that heaven's air smells wooingly here. No buttress, frieze, or coign of vantage, but this bird doth fill his pendant bed and procreant cradle, where he most breeds and wants. I have observed, the air is delicate.
See, see, our honored hostess. The love which follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God ild us for your pain, and thank us for your trouble.
All our service, in every point, twice done and then done double. We're poor in single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels, and had a purpose to be his purveyor. But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holpen to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guest tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves and what is theirs in comp to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
'twere done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequences and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. And in such cases, we still have judgment here. We that but teach bloody instructions, which being taught return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, and then as his host, who should against his murderer bar the door, not bear the knife myself. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. Now, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, but the poor cat in the attic?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, whilst it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nibble from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
And if we should fail?
We failed. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his hard day's journey soundly invite him? His two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail, so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a few, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only, when in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth then, children only, for thy undaunted metal shall compose nothing but nails. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood the sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs in clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide, but the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
She goes down at 12.
I think 'tis later, Mum.
Here, hold my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. What thou got too. Heavy summons lies like lead upon my shoulders, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been in most uncommon pleasure, and has sent great largesse to your offices. This diamond. He bids me greet your wife withal, calling her most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became servant to defect, which else should free of rot.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you, they've shown some truth.
Think not of them. Yet, when we could entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that subject.
At your
Grant time.
At your kindest pleasure.
If you cleave to my consent when 'tis, shall make honor for you.
So that I lose none in seeking to augment it, still keep my bosom enfranchised and my allegiance clear, then I will be so kind.
We proposed a while.
Thank you, sir. Light.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. Have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as the sight? Or art there but a false creation of the mind, proceeding from the oppressed brain? I see thee still. Form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalst me the way that I was going. Such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade indulge in gouts of blood which was not so before. There's no such thing as the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now over the one-half world nature seems dead. Wicked dreams abuse the curtain's sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offering, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel the wolf, who howls his watch. Thus, with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they go, for fear thy very stones do prate of my whereabouts. Take the present horror from the time that now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go when it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven, or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are opened and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I'm afraid they have awakened 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. My husband?
I've done the deed. Now you hear a noise.
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now?
As I descended.
I?
Hark. Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bane.
Oh, it's a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
As one did laugh in sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Sitting there fierce, I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had much need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. MacBeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, chief nourisher in life's feast, great nature's second course.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. MacBeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? My worthy thing, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands! Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there! Go, carry them, and smear the sleepy grooms with blood!
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I've done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers! The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures! 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt!
This is that knocking. How is with me when every noise appalls me? Hands are here. Oh, they pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's oceans wash this blood clean from my hands? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas and incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking. At the south entry! Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! More knocking. Put on your nightgowns, lest occasion calls and shows us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Here is a knocking indeed. If a man reported a helping, he should have all turning the key. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Here's an English farmer. Come, hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in, farmer. Have napkins enough about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Who's there? In the other devil's name. Faith. He is an equivocator who could swear in both scales against either scale. Who committed treason enough against God, but could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Who's there? Faith. Here's an English tailor, come hither for stealing out a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Never at quiet. What are you? This place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions who have gone the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon! I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, We were carousing till second cock. And drink is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Mary, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. It provokes, and it unprovokes. It provokes a desire, but takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator when lechery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and takes him off. It persuades him, and disheartens him. It makes him stand to, and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him to a sleep, and getting him to lie, leaves him.
I believe the drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat of me. But I requited him for his lie, and being the stronger, I think, though he took my legs up some time, but I made a shift at casting.
Is thy master stirring? Looking to wait him, here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in, physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
It does. Did a point so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamenting stirred the air. Strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events new hatched the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was sleepers and did shake.
It's a rough night.
My young reverence cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now has made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder has broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What's this you say, the life?
Mean you with majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep death's counterfeit and look on death itself! Up and see the great doom's image! Malcolm! Banquo! As from your graves rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Whoa, alas, what, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dearest, stop. Contradict what thou hast said and say it is not true.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I'd lived a blessed time. For now there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys, renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees has left the vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You do not know it. The spring in the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal fathers.
Oh. By whom?
Those chambers, it seemed, had done. The hands and faces were embadged with blood, and so were their daggers, which, unlike to be found on their pillows. They scared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and neutral, loyal, furious in a moment? No man. The expedition, my violent love, outran the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his gaff stabbed looked like a breach of nature for ruin's wasteful entry. And there, the murderers steeped in the color of their trade, the daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love known?
Help me, Henzo!
Look to the lady! Why do we hold our tongues? That most may make this argument for hours.
What should be spoken here, or our fate hidden in auger holding rush and seize us? Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. And when we have our manly readiness, which suffers from exposure, let us meet and question further this most bloody piece of work. Seek to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness. Putting the hall together.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. Out to England.
To Ireland our separate fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles. The nearer blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and be not dainty of our leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft, which steals itself, and there's no mercy left.
Troubled with man's act, threatened his bloody stage. By the clock, 'tis day. Yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp. Is the night's predominance or the day's shame that darkness does the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, minions of their wits, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as if to make war with mankind.
'Tis that they eat each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes which looked upon it. Here comes the good Macbeth. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why? See you not?
Is known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those who Macbeth have slain,
Ah, alas the day. What good could they pretend?
they were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts on them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition that'll raven up thine own life's means. So, then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He's already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old rogues sit easier than our new.
Farewell, Doctor.
A good Dorkmanison go with you. And with those who would make good a bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it all. King, Cawdor, qualms, All as the weird sisters promised. And I do fear thou camest by it most foul. Yet, 'twas said it would not stay in thy posterity, but myself would be root and mother of many kings. If there be truth come from them, as in thee, MacBeth, their virtues shine, why, the verities in thee made good, cannot they be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here is our chief guest.
If she had been forgotten, would have been in the gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir. I'll request your presence.
Bid your highness command me, to the which my duties are with indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my good lord.
We had else desired your good advice in this day's council, which still hath been both grave and prosperous. We'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will use up the time twixt now and supper. Goes not my horse, the better. I'm going to have to become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of this tomorrow, when therewithal we will have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you hither, till you return at night. Adieu. Goes Fleance with you.
He does, my lord. My lord, our time's upon us.
So I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Lady, a word. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears and Banquo stick deep, and in her royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much she dares, and to that dauntless temper of her mind she hath a wisdom that doth guide her valor to act in safety. There's none but she whose being I do fear, and under her my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. She chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to her, then prophet-like they hailed her mother to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them. And mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list. Champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was. So please, your highness.
Well then now, have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was she in the times past that held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation, how you were crossed, how borne in hand, the instruments, who bore with them, and all things else that might to half a soul into a notion crazed, say thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature, you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this woman and her issue, whose heavy hand hath beggared yours and bowed yours to the grave forever?
We are men, my lord.
Aye. In the catalogue you go for men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, shuffs, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dog. The valued file distinguishes the slow, the swift, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, each according to that gift which bounteous nature hath in him closed, and by which he gains particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike. And so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the lowest ranks of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosom, whose execution takes your enemies off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, and where our help, but sickly in her life, which in her death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, with whom the vile blows and bumps of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I'd set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid on it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is she mine. And in such bloody distance, that every minute of her being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep her from my sight and bid my will to vouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that all are both hers and mine's, whose loves I must not drop, but wail her fall, who I myself struck down, and thus it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall do what you command, Lord.
Though our lives,
your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on it, for it must be done tonight. It's something from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness, and with her to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance, her son that keeps her company, whose absence is no less material than is his mother's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved,
my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. This concluded, Banquo. Thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had, all spent,
Where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy,
than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy.
How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We've scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tutor. But let the frame of things disjoint and both the worlds suffer, ere we'll eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead whom we to gain our peace are sent to peace than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged hooves. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love. And so, I pray, shall you. Let your remembrance supply to Banquo. Present her eminence both with eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces vizards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this!
Full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou know'st that Banquo in her flayance lives.
But in them nature's copy's not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable, and be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath cloned his cloister flight, ere the black-hacked summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning field, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
The innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond that keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black ages to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelst at my words. Hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
With us. West yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the legged traveler apace to gain the timely inn. Near approaches the subject for a watch.
Hark. I hear horses.
Catch the light there! Oh!
And 'tis she. The rest that are within another expectation already are in the court.
Horses go about.
Almost a mile. So she does usually. So all men do make their march from hence to the palace gate.
A light! A light!
'Tis she.
Stand to it.
Will be rain tonight.
Let it come down!
Oh! Treachery! No! Fly on! Fly! Oh, slave!
Prudence, put out the light!
What's out the way?
There's but one down. The sun has fled!
We've lost us half our affair.
Well, let's away. Say how much is done.
know your own degrees? Sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Our hostess keeps her state, but in good time, we will require a welcome. Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. When my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See, they encounter you with their heart's thanks. All signs are even. Here, I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon will drink a measure the table round. There's blood on thy face.
Spank was that?
It's better be without than she within. She dispatched.
My lord, her throat is cut. That I did for her.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. But he's good that did the like for Fleance. Thou didst it, thou art the not bride.
Most noble sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. Else been perfect. Full as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I'm cabin crib confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. Banquo's sick.
Aye, my good lord. Safe in the ditch she bides. 20 trenched gashes on her head. The least in death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies, the worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My worthy lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold on it that is not often vouched. While 'tis a making, 'tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home. From thence the sauce to meat were ceremony. Eating were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion wait on appetite and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
Here we have now our country's honor roofed, where the graced person of our banquo present, who I may rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
Her absence, sir, lays blame upon her promise. Please, your royal highness, grace us with your company.
The table's full.
Here are the places are, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
Done what, my lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been promiscuous, pray you. Keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will be well again. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Fee and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. With these flaws in starts and postures, to true fear would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there, behold, look, lo, what say you? Why care I? Thou canst not speak too. Charnel houses and our graves shall send those we bury back. Our monuments shall be the maws of kites.
What quite unmanned in folly?
I stand here, I saw her.
Fie, for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden times, aye, and since then too, murders have been performed too terrible for the year. The times have been that when the brains were out, a man would die and there an end, but now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is most strange that such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come. Love and health to all. Then we'll sit down. Give me some wine. A pillful. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would she were here.
We know the pledge. Our duties in the pledge.
Oh God! I quit my sight. Let the earth hide thee. Thy blood is cold. Thy bones are marrowless. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes that thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as
as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare, I dare. Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, the Hyrcan tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerve will never tremble, or be alive again. Jet me in the desert with my sword. If trembling I inhabit then, profess me the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence. Myself, being gone, I am a man again. Pray you, friends, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good feeding with most admired disorder.
Can such things be and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange even to the disposition that I owe. But now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheek while mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once!
Good night, and better help attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
We'll have blood, they said. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by maggot pies and troughs and brooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
Sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
Hear it by the way. I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good, all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far, should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go war. Strange things I have in head that will to hand, which must be acted or they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, go to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say, things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied as Macbeth. Marry, he is dead. And the right valiant Banquo, well, too late. Whom you may say if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. And let's not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? And in fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the two linguist pair that were slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, which would have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he has borne all things well. And I do think that, had he Duncan's sons under his key, and please heaven he shall not, they should find what's worth to kill a father. So should Fleance. But peace. For from broad word and cause he fails his presence at the tyrant's feast. I hear Macbeth lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant owes the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received by the most pious ever with such grace that by the malevolence of fortune nothing takes away from his high esteem. Thither Macduff has gone, to prey upon Northumberland and the warlike seaward, so that with this help, with him above to ratify the work, we may once again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free our feast and banquets from bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report had so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt at war.
Says he's Macbeth.
Did. And the cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums as one who should say, "You'll rule the time that clogs me with this answer."
And that, well, might advise him to caution of both what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel flies to the court of England and unfolds his message ere to come. The swift blessing may soon return to this, our suffering nation under our hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
The brinded cat hath mewed.
Once and thrice the head be blind.
Heartbeat cried, stein, stein. Round about the cauldron go. In the poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone days and nights has 31 sweltered venom sleeping got. Boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, toil and trouble. Fire, burn, and cauldron bubble.
Fill it of a plenty snake. In the cauldron boiling big. Eye of newt and toe of frog. Wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind for the sting. Lizard's leg and owlet's mink. Or a storm of powerful trouble. Like a doom prompt boiling bubble.
Double, toil and trouble. Fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. Skin of dragon, tooth of bull, witch's money, mongo, finger of bird, a stronger bud. It's delivered by a drug. Make the gruel thick on its lap. After two, a tiger chavron for the ingredients of the cauldron. Double, boil and trouble, fire and burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baby's foot. Now the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open walks whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the Yesi wave confounds and swallows navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their warders' heads, though palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations, though the treasure of nature's Germans tumble all together, even till destruction sickens. Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer. Say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths, or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Come high or low, thyself and office deadly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
It knows thy thought. Hear it speak, but say thou not.
MacBeth! 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 Big word! Macduff! Big word! The sign of five. Dismiss me! Enough!
Whatever thou art, with thy good caution, thanks, but one word more.
It will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth!
If I had 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, be bold and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? Yet I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That can never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet Bodman's good. Rebellion's head rise never to the wood of Burnham rise. And our high place Macbeth shall live the least of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. My heart throbs to know one thing. Will Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. Why sinks this cauldron? What noise is this?
Show!
Show!
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Horrible sight. Oh, I see 'tis true. Oh, the blood-bolted Banquo smiles at me and points at them for hers. What? Is all this so?
Aye, sir. All this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus evasively? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to make a sound while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say our duties did his welcome
Where are they? Gone? But this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Oh, come in without there.
What is your Highness' pleasure?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
That did be the air whereupon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I heard the galloping of horse. Who else came by?
'Twas 2 or 3, my lord, that come to bring you word MacBeth has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my lord.
Aye. Thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is o'ertook unless the deed go with it. And now, to crown my thoughts with acts, the castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, put to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No more boasting like a fool. This I'll do before my purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come! Bring me where they are.
Of birds will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear. Nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom when the flight so runs against all reason.
I pray you, dearest cousin, school yourself. But for your husband, he is wise, noble, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not stay much longer. Cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, and yet know not what we fear, but can float upon a wild and violent sea each way and move. I take my leave of you. Will not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at their worst will cease. Or else climb upward to what they were before. My rich cousin. Blessed are you.
Fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless.
I'm so much of a fool. Should I stay longer? It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sierra, your father's dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mom.
What? With worms and flies?
What I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou'st never yet fear the net nor line, pitfall nor the gem.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds bear not suffer poor. My father is not dead for all your sake.
He is dead, so how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy him 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet in faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears an oath and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Yes, everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang, though?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swears are full, for their lies and swears enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor one. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you would weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talks. What faces are these? Where is he? I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayest find him. He's a traitor.
Thou lies, thou shag-haired villain!
What? You egg! You fraud!
Mother, he has killed me! Run away, I pray you! No! Ah!
Hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfallen birthman. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out by syllable of dollar.
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You've loved him well, yet not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
Ah, but MacBeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil upon an imperial charge.
Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkst. The whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp.
Be not offended. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, by him that shall succeed. What should he be? It is myself, I mean. in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that when they shall be opened, Black Macbeth will seem as white as snow.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant you plenty, but there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust. And my desire, all continent impediment would o'erbear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this, there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a stanchless avarice that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels in this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust. Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. Fare thee well, Lord. These evils thou repeatst against thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, I hope, ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples. For even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak my own detraction. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, at no point broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this, upon myself, what I am, truly, is thine, and my poor country's to command, whither indeed, before thy here approach, all seaward, with 10,000 warlike men, already at a point, was setting forth. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile. See, who comes?
My countrymen, but yet I know her not.
My ever gentle cousin. Welcome.
I know her now. Good God, but time's removed the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself, it cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
What's the newest grief?
Each minute seems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why? Well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of thy speech, how goest?
Nor I in Scotland would create soldiers, would make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Keep their comfort, we are heading thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seaward, and 10,000 men, an older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No heart that's honest, but in it shares some woe. But the largest part belongs to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and children savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heavens. What, man? Never pour your hat upon your brows? Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, Hellkite. All? What? All my pretty chickens? And their dam? At one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things as were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee, not for their own demerits, but for mine. Fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and brag it with my tongue. But, gentle heaven, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him, and if he escape, heaven forgive him too!
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never binds the day.
From her bed, unlock her closet, her nightgown upon her, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it afterwards, seal it, and return again to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That which I will not report after her.
Nay to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Not to you, nor to anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. William, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually, 'tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to be seen thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue in this a quarter of an hour. Yet here's a spot!
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1,
too? Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky! Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a fear? What need we fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
You mark that?
Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that! You mar all with this starting!
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has said what she should not, I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh, oh, oh.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died wholly in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Peg was buried. She cannot come out of her grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come, 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 give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now? To bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. Nor needs she the divine and the physician. God forgive us all. But look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. And so good night. With my mind she has made it and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night. Good doctor.
Bring me no more reports! Let them all fly. Till Burnham Wood removed to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, MacBeth, for no man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. And fly false stains, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by, and the heart I bear, will never sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee back, thou cream-faced loon. Where dost thou that goose look?
There is 10,000
Geese! Villain!
soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers patch? Death of thy soul. Those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force, so please you.
Take thy face hence. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies to keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff that weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs. Well, none of it. Come. Put mine armor on. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, dispatch. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health. I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. What rhubarb, kime, what purgative drug would scour these English hence? Hear'st thou of them?
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing.
But what is this before us?
Lord Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery earn report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other than that the confident tyrant keeps skill in Dunsinane, and will endure setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope. For whether is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches. It will with due decision make us know that which we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts, speculative. They're unsure hopes are linked, but certain issue. Strokes must arbitrate. To which, advance the war.
Hang on our banners on the outward wall! The cries still they come. Our castle's power will laugh a siege to scorn. There let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced to those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What was that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I've almost forgot the taste of fears. If I'm in ban, I would have cooled to hear a night shriek. My fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors, direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter! There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out! Out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but I know not how to say it.
Say it!
As I did attend to her majesty, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me enjoy your wrath if it not be so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say a moving grove.
If thou liest, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution, and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, Macbeth, till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm! Arm the now! If that which she avouches does appear, there is no flying hence nor tearing here. Begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell. Blow wind! Come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back!
Now near enough! Your leafy screen, slow down and show like those you are! You, worthy uncle, shall, with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macbeth be picked up, and we will take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
Tie me to a stake, I cannot fly, but bear like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none.
What is thy name?
That be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a name hotter than any is in hell.
My name is Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest! With my sword, I'll prove the lie thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face. If thou beest slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot fight with wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either now, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathe again undeeded. There thou should be, by this great clatter one of greatest note seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
swing, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day itself almost professes yours, and there is little to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
All men else, I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain, the terms can give thee out.
Thou losest labor. As easy mayst thou the entrenching air with thy keen sword impress as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life that must not yield to one of woman born.
Ha ha ha! Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, MacBeth was from his mother's womb untimely ripped!
Cursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed the better part of man. And be no more believed these juggling fiends that palter with us in a double sense, but keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see, the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground under young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body, I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, MacBeth, and damn be him that first cries, hold! Enough!
Friends we missed were safe arrived.
Some must go off, but by these I see, so great a day as this is chiefly bought.
MacBeth is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man, the which, in the unshrinking station where he fought, his prowess confirmed, like a man he died.
Then he is dead.
Aye, and taken from the field. Your sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end.
Had he his wounds before?
Aye, on the front.
Then God's soldier be he. If I had as many sons as hairs, I would not wish them to a fairer death. So, his knell is null.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score, so God be with him. Here comes newer comfort.
for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see these compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud. Mine, hail King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland! We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. With more to do, as would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hand took off her life. This, and what needful else calls upon us, by grace of grace, we shall perform in measure, time, and place. So, thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.